Okay, so this conversation is being recorded. So if you'd
It
like
is,
to,
you're right, yeah.
if you'd like to repeat your name for me and who you work for.
My name's I work for the Claims Advisory Group in Manchester on Queen Street. We trade as the claims professionals.
Right. Am I being charged for this call?
I wouldn't have thought so, no, we rang you.
No. And how did you get hold of my phone number?
I got your phone number from a company called Verve Media Limited, based on the first floor of Enterprise House on 5 Roundwood Lane in Harpenden, Hertfordshire. Postcode Alpha Lima 5 3 Bravo Whiskey. Contact number 01582 761 225. This company are fully compliant with Direct Marketing Association rules. They only supply us with opted-in data. We use various suppliers in the UK. This meaning that you will have opted in at some point on your either online or on a shopping survey. You've either opted in or you've not opted out.
Right. And
Okay.
am I lawfully or legally obliged to answer any of your questions?
I think you will probably know the answer to that, being that I've rang you unawares. Nobody that phones you, we're not an official law body. You're not obliged to answer any questions on your own personal mobile phone, sir. No, we just provide an optional service on a no-win, no-fee basis in order to get clients their money back that they may well not have aware that they can't use the right channels to go down. We're a cause for them.
Right. And would you? I mean, this might be a no-brainer, this question, but would you consider this phone call harassment?
I wouldn't know. Not if I've not spoken to you before. I've never seen a Mr. come up on my screen. Is there any reasons to suggest, Mr. that you have been harassed by the company?
Well, I've never received this kind of phone call before, and it does strike me as rather strange because I don't consent to have my number given out to any outside organisation. So
I understand.
this
It
does give me
categorised as
reason to be
harassment then
suspicious.
if you've never received the call before. Would you agree?
Sorry?
Would you agree that this couldn't be categorised as harassment as per your previous question if you've never received this phone call before?
Well, I would be looking into. This is why I asked who you are and who you work for and how you got hold of this number.
That's
because
fine,
I
and I
will
gave
need
you all
to.
the information. I mean, the best advice I can be to, without this sounding like an interview of any sort. I mean, I'm not just here as a salesman. I can advise you in any way that you need to maybe get these phone calls to stop, the ways and channels to go down them. I'm not just here to provide the service the company do. I will go beyond the means of trying to help you out as any living, red-blooded human being. I'm not just going to find, if you're not interested, I'm not just going to tell you, right, and put the phone down.
Okay.
You're recording this call, are you, Mr.
Yes, I am.
You yourself, okay. So I won't have to repeat the phone number for Verve Media that I gave you earlier. That will be on your tape. I gave you the address and the postcode for the data company which we got the data from and the phone number. What I would suggest is I will remove your number from the Claims Advisory Group system, so you'll never receive a call from us again, should you wish.
Okay.
What I would then suggest is maybe that you do speak to Verve Media, probably directly by contact, phone the number that I gave you. Tell them to remove that so they can't sell it on to any other companies.
Well, actually, why should I have to go round the runaround of contacting companies to tell them not to contact me when I've given no express consent for them to contact me to begin with?
Well, because then they won't know that you want them off that list. They'll think you're happy. I mean, I can't ring them because they'll need Mr. to ask.
Well, that would be classified as implied consent and thus not expressly given consent.
No, I understand, but the fact that I've told you before, it is opted-in data, and that we are fully compliant with direct marketing rules.
Opted in on whose authority?
No, sorry?
Who gave the authority for me to be legible for this call?
I don't know what you do in your private time, sir. I don't know whether you've ticked a box or you've not ticked a box, either shopping, online, whatever. I don't know what you do in your private time. You've done it yourself at some point. You've either opted in or you've not. It's not us. We haven't got your name and address and everything. We have just made it up.
Okay. Well,
Is that sufficed?
Sorry?
Is the information I've given you sufficed?
Well, I will look into it, but I'll tell you what. While I've got you here, just on a sort of like personal level, have you thought about the idea of money itself?
Have I thought about the idea of money himself?
No. Have you thought about
I'm
the
only
idea
motivated. I don't
of?
come here for a basic wage, sir.
Well, what I mean is, have you considered the notion of currency as a notion in of itself?
How do you mean? You mean, are you advising me to take another career path? Is this what we're getting at?
No. It's
Because
just
I am actually an electrician by trade. I've actually come here as
all right. That's cool.
basically because I couldn't get back in the trade, and I do have to pay my rent because my parents have now moved overseas. So
Right. This is
what I'm doing.
well, it's just an informal sort of chat because this is one little thing that I like to, a couple of questions I like to ask people every now and then through life.
What, the random select?
Sorry?
As a random select, Mr. Do you do this down the street, or?
Sometimes.
Yeah. All right. I wonder what reaction you do get. All right, go on.
Well, the one of the questions I ask people is whether they know what there is backing our currency in order to give it value. Because in order for a currency to have actual value, it has to be backed by and redeemable for an inherently valuable commodity, such as gold or silver, because
That's right,
the American gold used to back the American dollar, and sterling silver used to back our pound. But one thing we find is that those commodities aren't backing our currency anymore. So, what is backing our currency to give it value? That's probably a very good answer, actually. Because
have you got any questions on sport, Mr.
not on sport, unfortunately. I wouldn't count myself as an extremely sporty guy.
Well, I am, and I'm sat in Manchester City Centre at the moment, and the bus tour's ready to go across. From the United winning the final, the league and whatnot. So I'm probably going to be stuck in Manchester for a good few hours and not be able to make myself or go home. I know the answer to that.
Okay. Well, another question I would ask is, considering that we live within a monetary system, it's in order for GDP to be benefited and so-called economic growth to be created, currency needs to constantly circulate faster and faster, and more and more and more. And thus that also means more and more of the planet's finite resources need to be consumed. So, therefore, that means that the current monetary system is actually based on a system of infinite growth and infinite consumption, but we live on a finite planet with finite resources. How is that sustainable?
It's probably not. We're figuring that out, aren't we? We're just working harder and faster to obtain these goods, like you say, in order to maintain a lifestyle that we probably can't maintain. Yeah.
So essentially, how do we differentiate between the behaviour of the current monetary system and the behaviour of cancer?
Well, I wouldn't like to get into the cancer rerun, but the cancer talk. But I think in the long and short of it, at least I could probably take a deep breath and say that any sort of any sort of disasters or anything that is inevitable that will happen, I'm not going to be around to see. So in that respect, I'll live for the here and now.
Well, here's the thing though, because we live in a mathematically unsustainable paradigm, as it were. How can we expect our future generations to have anything left when we're done consuming it?
I don't know. I really don't know, Mr.
So in a sense, really, what's the solution for that? Instead of when we have infinite growth on a finite planet, what's the more intelligent route to take?
I have no idea. Well, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be sat here doing this right now, or having an electrician in the trade if I knew the answers to the questions you asked me.
Well, I'll tell you what. That also actually links into one of the really insightful questions I ask people sometimes. Is that essentially, if you didn't have to worry about money, would you do the job you're doing right now for free?
No, I wouldn't. Not if I didn't have to worry. It depends how. I mean, it's quite some broad horizons there. Not worrying about money for one person could just be having a nice sustainable amount in the bank where they can just at least they may still have to work. And not worrying would maybe have 120 million in the bank. Yeah. But I would always work.
Right.
If I was get the money at this age, as I'm only 25.
Well, that's good. Basically, essentially the question I'm asking is essentially that. If money was no object, if you could live your life however you wanted to live it. You didn't have to worry about, quote unquote, working for a living, essentially doing things that, the vast majority of jobs people don't want to do because they're arduous and they waste our lives and all this other stuff. We generally don't like our jobs because they're repetitive. They don't really serve our needs on the social level or do anything productive. So if you actually truly had the freedom to live your life how you wanted to live it, you said you wouldn't do your job that you're doing right now for free. So therefore, the question is, what would you devote your life to? If there was no restriction, what would you devote your life to?
Sorry, hard question. It's probably something we all do think about on a daily basis, isn't it? And I suppose the answer changes from day to day as well.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I just obviously you want to make sure everyone around you's happy as well in a way, but that can't always be achievable either, can it? So I don't know. I really don't know, Mr. I don't know what the answer would be.
Yeah, well, within a monetary system, you're definitely right. However, what do we develop technology for in the first place? To make our lives easier, right? So how about if we...
purely because we can, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So how about if we follow that train of thought through to its logical conclusion and automate all the jobs that can and should be automated? That will leave all the jobs that really truly stretch our imagination, enrich our lives, enable us to pursue paths of self-betterment and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
So when we also use that technology to help produce and access abundance of the necessities of life for all humankind, because we have the technology and the resources to do that, to feed, clothe, educate and provide for all 7 billion people on this planet, probably billions more actually. So with that taken care of, and our ability to live our lives how we want to live it, what need is there now for money?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, you're not alone in this train of thought you've got. There's a hell of a lot of people out there that do want to do the same thing that you're thinking, really.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I just don't let it overbother me too much. Now, Mr. I am on a numbers game, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, and I do have a time where I'm in a target-driven environment. Now, I must move on, although it has been nice speaking to you, although we may have got off on the wrong foot, but I hope from your recording...
it's just the call. It took me a bit unawares. I was just like, what the hell? What's going on?
Yeah, it always does. Yeah, I understand,
Yeah.
Okay, you listen back to your recording, and like I say, if you do want to take further steps, maybe contact the Verve Media if you want your number removing.
Yeah.
But if you've not been getting a high volume of calls, then I'll remove from this one, and hopefully you may never get them again.
Yeah, hopefully. But tell you what, just before we go, is it right if I just give you a website address that you can check out? It'll have a lot more information about
You have left me very intrigued now, anyways, to see
all right, that's cool.
who Mr. really is. Go on then, fire away.
Well, the website address is www. And I might have to spell this out for you because it's a German word. The Zeitgeist Movement, and that's. Sorry, I'll try and remember the phonetic alphabet. Oh God, here we go. Okay, Zulu Echo India Tango, Golf Echo India Sierra Tango Movement.
Zeitgeist Movement,
.com. And that's all one word.
Okay then.
And essentially, it's a global grassroots sustainability advocacy movement that I'm a part of, and I've also created a chapter for. Yeah. And essentially, we recognise that the current system is unsustainable, and we have the ability to actually make things truly sustainable. Whether it's possible within our own lifetimes or not is irrelevant because it needs to happen one way or another, Yeah. So that's basically it, really.
Okay then, Mr. Thank you.
Cool. All right.
Thanks
well, you have a good one, and
you
and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
I will. I've only got about 38 minutes left, and then I'm done.
Oh, fantastic! And
All
also.
right,
not just a pleasurable afternoon, but a pleasurable rest of your life as well.
And you. Thanks a lot.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.